Welcome, everybody. This is Patrick Snow, host of the Patrick and Mary Unstoppable Author Interview Series, where we interview authors, speakers, coaches, consultants, poets, and musicians from all over the world, including Hilo, Hawaii, the epicenter of the music industry, in this incredible studio that we have today. We have a special guest with us. We help our clients get more time, more money, more freedom, more health, more love, more happiness. And today, more music, more poetry, and more aloha spirit. So today, we have a world famous musician, poet, and now author. He just published his brand new book. The book is titled Spoken Jazz and the Ting Machine by Mr. Bub Pratt. It's poems from the Episodic Audio Musical. If you want to follow along online, you can go to Spoken JAZZ the TINGG MACHINE.com. That's with 2 G's. Spoken Jazz and the Ting, TINGG Machine.com. Also, you can go to Kukuau Studios, KUKUAU Studio.com to learn more information about Bub Pratt. I'm going to read you his bio right off the cover or the back of his book. Hot off the press. This book just came out within the last 30 days. Bub Pratt is an author, a professional speaker, a musician, a poet, a singer, a songwriter, a lyricist, a performer, a music producer, a hyper creative, a bored sportsman, and I need to ask about what that is. A teacher of all things. He was born in Seattle, Washington. He was given the nickname Bub at birth, which is kept with him his entire life, and we still don't know his real name. I don't think anybody does. Maybe even the DMV of the motor vehicles don't even know his real name. He was brought home to a cabin in the north woods of Kitsap County with no running water or no power, where he lived all of his teenage years into his early adulthood. In his 20s, Bub moved to the big island of Hilo, Hawaii, and is the curator of a multimedia art space in downtown Hilo called Kukuau Studio, where he hosts the longest running jazz jam in the history of the state. So without further ado, oh, by the way, I forgot to mention he's also a vigilante on the run. So keep that in mind. So without further ado, please join me in welcoming Mr. Bub Pratt. And I gotta tell you, Bob, every time I have you on the show, or every time I book you, I wanna hear that butterfly song. But you're off the hook today because we can't hear your guitar, so you're just gonna have to, be all voice today.
I thought we'd be able to fix that with this better microphone setup, but I guess not.
Yeah. So I'm so thrilled. This is the second time we've had you on. First time, everybody loved you. They all wanted you back on again. So many people watched the recording. So I guess let's begin with the book. What's the inspiration behind Spoken Jazz and the Ting Machine, and where does this title come from? So where did this book come from?
Well, most recently, you're the inspiration, Patrick. Thank you for that. This book is a compilation of 3 zines that were written in the early 2000s and self-published, with glue sticks, scissors, a vintage typewriter, and innumerable hours at Kinko's. And then it was going to be, it's a part of the larger project, which is the Episodic Audio Musical, Spoken Jazz and the Ting Machine. And that's the name of one of the books. And so I decided to have that be the main title. But within this Episodic Audio Musical, which is like a 380-page script, like 23 scenes, about 20 minutes each. Each one has a song and some poetry and all kinds of action happening in it. Within that story, these books are created. So when I was telling you about this project, oh yeah, and that's 2 parts of the project: the Episodic Audio Musical, the book, and my first jazz record. And when I was telling you about the project, and I was like in all kinds of convoluted ways, because I was still like organizing it, like how to like describe it to people, you said, you know what you need to, and I was also saying, you know, I need to raise like at least 20 grand just to get this musical thing done, so I can have, you know, a good half dozen voice actors be able to show up, you know, for 6 to 7 hours, you know, one day a week for a couple of months to be able to record the whole thing. And you said, you know what, Bub, you should publish the book first and have that help you make the money for the rest of the project. And so that was about a year ago, and and we
And you did it.
here we are, like, okay, man, let's do it. So so yeah, I put that thing together and found a publisher in a subsidiary of Ingram. What are they called? They're called Newman Springs, and they've been really good. And the book looks good. It's how we did it. It's painstakingly. Oh my goodness, I can't believe how slow the publishing world is compared to the music world. Everything is like 10 times slower in the publishing world, but we got them, and we get them, and we did it, baby.
So how does it feel? How does it feel to add published author to your list of titles, right along vigilante and poet and musician? How does that feel internally to be an author?
Oh, it feels pretty good, dude. I'm really excited, and I have like at least 4 other books in varying degrees of completion ready to go. So when I'm get done pushing this all out, I'll have another one ready to publish again. So
Wow.
here we go. We're on a little mission.
So on the back cover, it says, "You're holding a time capsule. This book is a compilation of 3 zines of poetry and prose, first self-published between 2001 and 2003, Bebop, Coffee Shop, The Fabulous Adventures of Yours Truly, and then volume 3 is Spoken Jazz and the Ting Machine. The idea is for it to stand alone as its own work, complementing the episodic audio musical of the same name. The zines were created with an early 50s portable typewriter called the Remington Ting Machine. Ting is probably that name, the noise when you hit the button and it returns. That
Yeah, it's the
ting.
arm. It's the return arm. Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Original black and white photography, crude stitches, glue sticks, scissors, innumerable hours at Kinko's. Capture the QR code to learn more. So, do you still have the original first version taped together? You must have it framed somewhere on the wall.
Well, yeah. What happened was I was forced to throw away the original manuscripts that were all glued together, I just kind of made them all up, you know. But then I had the first 2, Bebop Coffee Shop and The Fabulous Adventures of Yours Truly, and I couldn't find the last book, Spoken Jazz and the Ting Machine, and each one of those books are like twice as big as the last one. So this was a book. This is one book is the third book is like half the whole project. But I was an intern, and I were digging through the studio. I have this locker, and it's just full of stuff, and found a box that was full of stuff that I had brought from the mainland, and I found the manila envelope I had sent to myself in 2003 with all 3 books in it, and they looked like I had just gotten back from Kinko's. They were like brand new, crispy looking, and I was like, yes, we can do this project now. So great. So great.
Oh. So let's go back to the beginning. Born in Seattle. At birth, your father named you Bub. Tell us that story. What was your childhood like? What was it like growing up in Kitsap County in the 90s and 80s? And go ahead with that.
Well, yeah. So when I was born dead, had the umbilical cord wrapped around my neck. and it was 26 hours of labor. And when they pulled me out, I had this death grip on the umbilical cord and pulled out the whole everything.
You grabbed it, you just pulled it
I
off.
just like pulled out. I had one hand down here and one hand on the deal, and just like pulled everything. So it was a big mess, and I was
It's like you're water skiing. One hand on the water ski rope, and get that octopus off your neck.
Exactly. And then so they we're at the university hospital, and so they take me to this metal table, you know, a few feet away, and I'm in just this pile of meat, and my dad grew up being a meat cutter, working in the meat department at his dad's grocery store, and what they called the pile of meat, they called that, and they'd bag it up for, you know, to sell to people for their dogs and stuff. And after all the cuttings, the trimmings on the meat to make it look good in the casing, yeah, they called that the bub, and that's what I looked like. And so my dad is like, my mom's out of it. He's holding her hand, and I'm being resuscitated, you know, on the other side of the room. And he's like, it just comes out of his mouth. He's like, "Come on, bub, you can do it, bub. Breathe, bub." You know, and so Bub just wound up being my nickname. I tried to fight it.
Is that your name on your driver's license?
No, my slave name is on my driver's license.
And you still haven't shown us what that is.
No.
Still haven't shown us or told us. And you're not going to tell us today. Is that right? Nobody knows.
People do, and they try to show off because they know something or whatever.
But isn't Bub short for another long, you know, Bubba something?
Yeah, Bubblicious, Aloysius, Josephine Love Juice.
Okay.
My students call me Mr. Love Juice.
Okay, I won't even ask you how to spell that, but that's quite something else. Wow. Amazing.
Actually, I came up with that while I was writing one of these books back in the day, and so it wound up being a whole thing, a funny thing.
So you're an artist, a musician, a lyricist, songwriter, producer, all of the above. When was your first experience picking up a guitar?
Well, the guitar was always around the house because my dad, you know, could play and stuff, and I tried to learn it, you know, and I knew just it would take so much time, and I was so busy, like being a kid and playing sports and chasing girls and that kind of thing. But I was always a singer. So like my first paid gig, I was a 12-year-old Elvis impersonator. And so I was like, dang, this is fun. This is really cool. I should really do this. And so that's when I decided to be a performer. But then after high school, I realized now it's time to start getting serious about learning guitar. And I made a New Year's resolution to stop watching TV. I realized I was wasting 4 to 6 hours a day just watching stupid television. And I traded that time in for learning how to play guitar. And then when I first picked it up, you know, a month after I started playing guitar, I got mono. So I couldn't go to work for like a month. And so all the energy I had, I would just be practicing guitar. And so then I was healthy for a week, and then I got the chicken pox. So there was another month where I couldn't go to work or anything. So I got like almost a year's worth of guitar playing in like, you know, 3 months. And after that 3 months, I had like 10 or 12 original songs, and I put together my first little funky rock and roll, like punk rock band kind of thing. And I've just been kind of going off from there. And then a few years later, I decided to go to college and study music. And so,
wow. I know the guitar is not picking up on the audio, but do you feel inclined to give us an Elvis impersonation real quick?
What are you, my mom?
Just trying to humor, entertain, and inspire the audience today.
Elvis impersonation. Let's do.
And you can pretend with you can play the air guitar if that makes it easier.
Well, I gotta shake my booty, to do it right. So, well, there's a 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready now. Go, cat, go, don't you step on my blue suede shoes. Well, you can do anything but say for my blue suede shoes. Yeah, that's it. That's all that
was. So much talent. How do you contain it all?
It's hard. It's hard. It's all I can do. I don't get invited to many parties unless I'm getting paid.
Yeah. Well, I would say about 2000, 2001. I'm over in Seattle, cold, rainy day in October, jump on a ferry boat, sitting down, and all of a sudden I hear this music coming out of the corner of the ferry boat. I'm like, oh man, live musician. I need to go hear this guy play. I walk up to you with my son, and you're just strumming away, playing my favorite song in the history of my entire life. And it's titled I Want to Be a Butterfly, I think, or just Butterfly. I don't even know the real name of the song. Doesn't matter. It's that good. Point being is our friendship was created. I just fell in love with your music immediately. And that was 25, 26 years ago. And I think I dropped, $100 or $200 bill, a couple $100. No, I'd probably put a couple $2 or $3 in your, guitar case.
No, I think you dropped a 20 spot in there. You were being that's very generous.
Well, you entertained us the whole time, and I absolutely loved it. And then I said, "Hey, Bob, my kid's having his 5th or 6th or 7th birthday party coming up. Any chance you can sing that Butterfly song to all of us?" And she's like, "Absolutely." And so I also remember, as a side note, I was trying to set you up with my sister because I just was a big fan. I wanted to be had a musician in the family. That didn't work. I don't even know if you guys ever connected or what.
Oh, we did. She's lovely. I hope she's doing really well. I was going to ask you about her, and we never brought up that part of the story, but
yeah, I forgot all
she's
about
lovely.
That. Yeah. Did you guys ever go on a date or no?
Oh yeah. We went out. Yeah, it was lovely. Her friend, she brought me over to her place, but then the next day, her friend accused me of stealing something. I didn't steal anything. It was it was weird. Yeah. Anyway, but she's lovely, and I hope she's doing well. Please send her my regard.
Yeah, she has 3 kids, and she's busy.
Oh, beautiful.
She's a full-time baseball mom. And by the way, she does have a VW pop-up camper she just bought from about the 1980s or 1990s, and she just loves that. That's her ting machine. So anyway, so you come sing at the birthday party. You've got about, I don't know, 12 or 13 or 14 first graders, kindergartners doing this Butterfly, all along.
Dancing around.
Yeah. And by the way, you can go to the website, Spoken Jazz and the Ting Machine, or you can go to YouTube, type in Bub Pratt, Pratt, There you can see a lot of his music on YouTube. Tell us the inspiration behind that song. And was that one of your first songs that you started playing quite a bit?
No, that was probably the 50th song I'd written. And I had a friend who was a assistant for a first grade class, and they were studying butterflies, and she gave me a list of vocabulary words and was wondering if I could write a song for the climax of their butterfly curriculum. And I just wrote a little butterfly song. I thought what would it be like? What would a first grader want to do? They want to have an excuse to dance around and be crazy and act like butterflies and stuff. And I wrote it from the perspective of a butterfly, so they could kind of feel what it was, what it might be kind of like to be a butterfly. And it's just after being a caterpillar and just crawling around and stuff, and then hop in your chrysalis, which was a new vocabulary word for me at the time. and then all of a sudden you pop out of this chrysalis, and you're like, Yahoo, I'm a butterfly. Da, 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 da. Yahoo, I'm a butterfly. And everybody's Yahoo. Yeah. So a lot of
Amazing,
fun.
amazing, amazing. One of my all-time favorite songs ever that I've listened to. You sent me the CD back in the day when CDs played in cars, and I remember many times road trips. I put that on and I just played over and over and over again, and it's one of the most inspirational, feel-good songs that there is. So do yourselves a favor, go to YouTube, type in Bub Pratt, and listen to some of his live music. You'll be glad that you did. So let's talk about poetry for a bit. What's the difference between writing a song as a lyricist and writing a poem in poetry? How are they different? How are they similar?
Well, you have to be more mindful of the rhythms of the words, I think, in writing a song, especially like if you're writing something that's some kind of pop song, and things tend to want to rhyme and things like that. But with poetry, you can have it, you're not confined by the music that the lyrics are in. You can just have the words create their own rhythm, and you can change the rhythm, and you don't have to rhyme. And I see it as more refined. With poetry, you don't need as much stuff in it to get the same imagery. And my poetry is like, it's like you're running through a forest, and hopefully you don't hit anything. You're like, oh, so that's how I like to write. And it's just an image, an image, an image, and pretty soon, it's like you have stop action, film kind of thing. So in
Our
your
guest
head.
today, Bub Pratt. The book is Spoken Jazz and the Ting Machine. Book is available at Amazon.com. It's also available at Spoken Jazz and the TingMachine.com. Pick up your copy today. I absolutely love this book. We're gonna have you read some of your poems here in a few moments. Do you have a preference? Would you rather sit down and write a song or sit down and write a brand new poem?
Um, Depends. Oh man, what happens is with the poems, and especially lately, or like toward the end of the book and things like that, the style shifted to um not just writing a poem like top to bottom kind of thing, but piecing together the craziest crap that you hear coming out of people's mouths. So much of this stuff, like there's some, I'll be the first to admit there's some very visceral imagery and on the crass stuff, but it's that stuff. So much of that I couldn't even conceive of. I just heard other people say it and like just weaved it together in a bunch of in this weaving of imageries and images. And but with a song, I've been doing this a lot more lately. It can be a lot more collaborative. I
Yeah.
do a lot of co-writing. I co-wrote a bunch of the tunes from this record called "Savor This" by an artist named Kylie Spark, and produced a bunch of her music videos. So yeah, I do a lot of co-writing and collaborative. So with a song, it's easier to collaborate, and it's a lot of fun making a song with somebody, and we're gonna get this done. Let's get through this. All right, and if there's something you don't love, then we just throw it out the window until we find something we love, kind of thing.
Is it true that like when I've written poetry in the past, my poetries they're really long and big and bulky, and then sometimes I try to make a song out of that, and it's like I can only use like 25% of the poem in the song. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that happens a lot because like I said, you're more confined into the meter of the music, the timing, the cadence, there's all kinds of words for it. how many beats are in that you have in that phrase. And so you have to get a little bit, I don't want to use the word creative, but I can't think of a better one to make it all kind of work. And what happens is with a lot of people, what they do when they're writing poetry or songs even too, they just add so much superfluous. Oh, did the camera go out? Oh,
Yeah, we lost you for a second, but we still hear you.
You get so many superfluous weird extra words that you don't need, and so you want to sorry, this is distracting.
Yeah, go ahead. There you
go.
There
we go. Oh, there we go. You want to be able to just really refine it, refine, especially, words like just, or, all the little funky connecting words. You don't need all that stuff. You just go straight to the meat of what you're trying to say.
So the prepositional phrases, the ofs, the ands, and the does, you can just put big words next to each other and it works.
Wow. Yeah, because what happens is your brain fills those in.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, I got a buddy, Derek Sebastian, ukulele player. I think I tried to connect you and Derek at one point here in Maui. He shared with me a template that musicians used, lyricists use, and they follow this. And it's basically, verse 1, chorus, verse 2, chorus 2, or the same chorus. And then he calls it celebration or bridge. And then like outro, and sometimes there might be an intro at the end. Do you follow that, verse 1, verse 2? No, I'm sorry, verse 1, chorus, verse 2, chorus, bridge. Do you follow that structure when writing? And do most musicians follow that?
Yeah, most of them follow some kind of version of that. I like to do like a shorter verse and then kind of a pre-chorus and then hit with the chorus and then another verse and then like a kind of a different pre-chorus and then hit with the the chorus or the hook, and that's the hook, like the thing that hooks people in. And then the bridge, what happens with the bridge is you want to kind of like restate the whole song like in the most compact little way.
Wow.
And then you come back with the chorus at the end, the hook, and you just bang that hook in.
I've been dabbling around. I took my poetry, tried to turn it into being a lyricist. I went to Songly on AI, and then Songly is, I was able to pick a man's voice, women's voice. They take my song that I write, they tweak it, change it, improve the rhymes a bit, and then I can pick, folk, rock, country, jazz or whatever else, and all of a sudden, whiz, bang, boom, I got a song, right?
I know, right? People are doing that for commercials and stuff all the time now, too, yeah.
I kind of feel like I'm cheating, and then Derek says to me, well, that's all fun and dandy, but it only works on a computer, because what happens when they ask you to get up on stage and perform that song? I can't do it.
No, what you do is you do something like hire a guy like me to go and to learn it and
to perform it.
Yeah. And if it's really bad, you have to pay double.
Oh, I love it. That's funny. All right, so let's hear some of your poetry from the book. Do you have a couple favorite poems you want to read?
I got one from right here from. It's crazy how much of this book I have memorized. But here's kind of a funny one. This is from. So this book is separated into basically 3 parts, and each part is twice as long because each of the little books each of the zines were twice as long. So this is like from the first zine. It's baby Barbie riding her baby Barbie bike, talking to the rain, follows map 16, hugging the white line, taking the turns, blink, 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 blink. But this road's closed to through traffic, so new lines can be painted on and on and on down the downhill strip. And when the momentum gets going, ain't no slowing this strip. While watching for the heat, they'll pull you out and thump you and stop traffic for an hour because of it, even if you're just a couple of hippie chicks holding hands in the sunshine.
I love it. Okay, give us another one. Give us another one.
Hey, it was fun. It was fun. I did the audiobook for this. It wound up being about 3 hours, and I'm still waiting to be able to upload it. Because you can't upload an audiobook until the digital version of the book is completely gone through whatever back channel magic, school bus, curtain drawing insanity that has to happen. And so I'm still waiting on that part of it, but the book is out. It's on, you can find it on Barnes and Noble, Amazon, and a couple other things are right now in the so here's an example of that where I'll take crazy stuff people say and string it together into something. So it's so this is in the second book. This is from The Fabulous Adventures of Yours Truly. Don't poop in my pool. Doreen gave me crabs because she peed on my head, peeing off the porch, talking about the junkie inmates hooked on Ritalin, putting jam in there to make oatmeal taste like a mushy Nutri-Grain bar, going the way of the belly button ring and slapjack. Harley is winning on a pair of twos. You know, little funny, goofy, gets goofy. But
Wow.
and then there's the beginning of the third book is, gosh, I don't know how many pages it wound up being in this book, but it's like a 10-page poem where it switches from poetry to prose and back and forth a lot.
So you're like an artist too, because I look at some of these, and there's cartoon drawings in here, there's photography in here, there's a little bit of everything in here. So
I was really stoked that they were able to put like some kind of like a typewriter font in there.
Wow.
Yeah, and so here I'll read this one. This one shouldn't be as offensive. This one's called Grosso's Blues. So sometimes I'd go to like a music performance and be writing as if I'm like transcribing what that instrumentalist is saying. So this is from the Tony Grosso saxophone quartet. I want to stick my head in the middle of that horn circle, clock time telling one to drink coffee and stay up late after you've done everything you can think of to do. You go to bed, but you can't sleep, but because of all that caffeine running around your veins, keeping your lids locked open to run with wily coyotes in the desert, covered with checkerboard chairs, inviting one to sit with trinkets and things that sparkle. But Tuba Boy still talks loud in the ears like a 200-pound prepubescent old lady. He must hang out with his grandma a lot. Honk, honka, 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 squee-ya! Shut shutting Tuba Boy up with space traveling in circles around the chair with no sparklies in the middle of the desert. And that's the chair where one can learn the unfathomable, because all the information is pointing at your juicy head. When you sit in the middle of a circle such as this, God knows what may drip and fall and land in your space to grow like a little tree growing in your fertile melon foliage, while they run in silence around an orange non-toxic crayon, climbing to the phone with red wine weed and clove smoke, dancing all free like Crayola pen, Crayola pen, Crayola pen, Crayola pen that flows in smoldering butts, but blue light lighters burn holes in pockets, pickpocket tight with red wine gravy on the mind, but it all comes back to the list of fabulous people. Well, who's on the list? The fabulous people.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
So back in this time, I was in this band called Spoken Jazz, and I didn't play guitar in the band. There was the instrumental instructor at my school. He played 6-string electric bass, like virtuosic crazy, like all the best musicians, piano, drums, saxophone, and I played the typewriter. I had it like on the front kind of side of the stage, all mic'd up and stuff, a mic on top of it. And when everybody was soloing stuff, I'm typing, and it's like another percussion instrument. Pop, 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 tap, pop, 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 ta, 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 ding. You know, ta, 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 ta. And then I would get up from my solo and read a poem, and but because I was also, training in jazz, I could read that poem and have it fit within the form of the tune, so it didn't like mess up the flow for the rest of the musicians. And what happens a lot of times when you hear poetry with music is like the music is down here and the poetry is just kind of up here, and they don't have that much interaction. And with this spoken jazz band, the poetry and the music kind of totally interacted and went together. And I think that's because of my training as a musician, I was able to pull that off, and it was a lot of fun. And my instructor was like, "Dude, Bub, this is what you got to be doing. This is the stuff." I'm like, "Yeah, but who's gonna pay an avant-garde jazz band to, do stuff?" Because I was like I was living in my bus and like just scrapping for whatever kind of money I could grab. So it was a hard
Your VW. What year was your VW bus?
Oh, that was a 73 Transporter.
Do you still have a VW bus?
Oh, no way. I got sick of being a mechanic.
Sick of it breaking down all the time.
Dude, you gotta be like stoked to work on that thing if you want to drive one of those. It's like I guess I hear that's a similar with Harleys. You kind of gotta be in the wrench.
If you break your knuckles working on your engine, you're not gonna be very good on the guitar. So
I know, I hate that. I can't. Yeah,
So let's transition into jazz. What is it about jazz that you love so much? If you had to target yourself as a genre of a musician, would you be a jazz singer, a jazz guitarist? I mean, it sounds like jazz is your jam. What is it about that genre of music that you love? How do you describe that genre to other people?
Man, it's just like let's say like bebop, like that's just how my brain works.
And that's jazz. That's an example of jazz.
That's like a bebop melody, and I think that was Olio. Anyway, remember, you ever see that movie The Jerk?
Yeah. Steve Martin.
With Steve Martin. And when he's chilling in his room and he turns the radio on, it's this really like corny like totally just white bread, funky silly music. And he's like, oh my God, I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. And you know, that's kind of like with me when I first heard jazz, because I grew up listening to all the folk stuff, and my parents' music was always like, the folk stuff, classic rock, Janis Joplin. There's some cool guitar stuff, but man, when I first heard jazz, I was like, oh, there we go. That makes my heart jam. And then another part of that too is when I was so lucky to grow up in this beautiful neighborhood in Paulsbo, and there was a bunch of kids that lived in the neighborhood, and we all hung out and rode bikes and skateboards and everything together. It was like beautiful. We could just be out all day, come home when the street lights turned on. And anyway, you ever do that, like when you're kids, everybody's learning how to whistle, and they're like, everybody, it's like a fake, it's always a competition. Everything turns into a competition, with boys especially. And they're all doing it, and I couldn't whistle, so I started doing and they're like, you're not whistling. I'm like, I am too. And then I realized I heard Louis Armstrong like playing some music. Maybe it was like on a cartoon or like in between cartoons or something. I'm like, oh, I can make that sound. And so that kind of thing. And so it's like, oh, that's
Is that a trumpet noise?
Yeah. And if I'm doing it,
I can't believe you can play the trumpet without an actual instrument.
Yeah. And it sounds like a trombone if I'm doing it wrong.
Do you want to give us a little song that you can do?
All right, let me think of one.
And would this be considered jazz?
Oh yeah, I'll play a bebop melody I like to do. That's an opera bob, I think. Thanks.
If you had
it's a little rusty. It's morning, man. It's just not even 8 o'clock in the morning yet. The trumpet's still a little rusty, bro.
I know you don't get up before noon, but we're grateful today. Could you also play that exact same tune on a real trumpet?
Oh hell no, not even close. Not even close. Not even close. And just trying it makes my lips feel like they're about to bleed, Yeah. So trumpet is such a physical instrument, man. You hear a guy just playing trumpet and playing well, they are just using their whole body, and they're piercing their lips into this little aperture, and they're like, and you see them when they take the horn off their lips, and they got this red like bubble that, yeah. Anyway,
so they couldn't do it like a 2-hour concert on a trumpet. They'd be exhausted.
Well, you can, but it takes a lot of work. You gotta work into that. It's like a 2-hour concert on trumpet is literally like, running a half marathon.
Yeah.
You just don't just show up one day and decide to run a half marathon.
Yeah, you got to do a lot of training. And so guitar is your instrument of choice, and that's what you've mastered all these years.
Yeah, that's what I've been working on, still learning new things all the time. It's I've been teaching now almost 30 years now. But yeah, gosh, that's a cool part about music too, is that as long as your body kind of still kind of works, you can really play music till you're well past diapers.
What do you want your readers to take away from your book, Spoken Jazz and the Ting Machine? How do you want them to embrace this book, and what do you want them to learn from it?
Well, one of the good question. Thanks for asking that. One of the things that the big thing, and it's about this whole project too, is that, you know, you don't need permission to just make art. And if you think you do need permission, then here, this book gives you permission to just make art, whatever kind of art, just do it, and it's like a muscle or a instrument. The more you do it, the better you get at it. And you just got to just do it. You got to suck and keep sucking till you stop sucking. And then
And you're just okay.
Then you're just okay. And then you start sucking less. And then, people start saying, oh man, that's pretty cool. Oh, and then, it just progresses. And then another thing I want people to take away from this book is to be able to see how this ties in with a larger project, and how this is just like one little aspect of that story, and hopefully it inspires them to want to, check out the rest of that project, the larger project, when that gets done, or maybe even inspire to, help fund it.
So what do you do at Kukuau Studios? Talk about this place you've created. What's gone into it? How big is it? Can people rent the space out? Do you have parties there, music, concerts? If you can maybe lift up your computer, give us a little tour. We'd love to learn more about the studio and how people can benefit from that.
Here, I'll give you. I got the computer on like a tall rolly desk. Right now, I'm sitting on the stage, and it's a little disheveled right now. But I'll give you the little spinny tour. This was when I first moved in here 11 years ago, a little over 11 years ago now. This was a literally just like the nastiest rat-infested, gross place.
Is it like a barn? Is it what kind of building is it?
It's kind of a warehouse type vibe, but there's a
And this is on the property where your family's estate, where you guys live.
No. This is in Hilo town. I live out in the jungle, but but this place was from the 30s to the 70s. It was Hatata Bakery, and it was the only bakery with island-wide distribution. So this side of the bakery, they would bring in all the ingredients, and then they'd make the dough here. And there's this, I don't know if you can tell over here, there's a this is a walk-in freezer.
Wow.
And you'd have to walk into this refrigerator that came out another 12 feet, and to walk into that's why the handle still works and stuff, because it's sitting there in a refrigerator for 40 years, And then so we got this fun little mirror bar in here that was from a Don Perignon commercial.
And that looks like an upper deck, a balcony, like at
a yeah. This is the mezzanine. We hold 180 people in here really comfortably, and so I teach music here during the week, during the day, and then and then we have events on the weekends. Like I said before, like you said, host the longest running jazz jam in the history of the state, and we just had our 504th jazz jam.
And how long does it last? One of the longest ones.
All of our events are from 6 to 9. We're Pal by 9 because we're kind of on the edge of the downtown. Kind of there's neighbors, and there's some apartments in the other side of the building and stuff. So we try to be chill. And then, so we have events here, and it's like one of the best sounding live music spaces. It is the best sounding live music space on the whole island, for sure. All the musicians say that. And we got, a cool little drum set. There's an early 50s Slingerland drum set. Big Island Cymbals. I got a shout out to Big Island Cymbals. They hooked us up with some custom cymbals and stuff, and that's my friend Russell over there, and Javi. In here is so somebody put this room in here before I moved in, and this is the control room. You can't really tell. But we do a bunch of recording and stuff in there. Actually, I just recorded this kid, dude. He's like little Kurt Cobain last night. I was up till late last night. Oh my God. And then also just recorded this other artist, Olivia the Bard. She plays banjo, and she's a singer-songwriter and plays banjo. And then we got some new shirts and some new merch. So if you want any merch, just hit me up. And yeah.
So what's the website? How and where can people buy the merch? Can people how and where can people learn more about the events? What's happening? How they can attend? All that good stuff.
The main spot, you find everything is on Facebook and Instagram right now, and the website, I gotta fix that thing up because it's kind of, just like everything is, it's kind of dated and somehow it's disconnected from the calendar and But yeah, mostly Facebook, or you can just email me at kukuaustudio@gmail.com.
And that's KUKUAU studio at gmail.com. Again, KUKUAU studio at gmail.com to learn more. Okay, talk about a little bit about the art, the painting. I mean, I look like I'm watching a little bit of SpongeBob SquarePants, a little bit of going to outer space. And you mentioned something about needing a snack. There's some, the spam there. Talk about the artistry behind this, because you don't just whip that together in 10 minutes. It's absolutely stunning.
No, thank you. We what happened was, this is our fourth all-encompassing mural. I remember the last time I had this big, that last mural was called Village Vortex, and it looked like we were in a big like tunnely vortex thing. The one before that was called Tree Sisters, and it was and the theme for that was like a mutant rainforest, mutant jungle. And the one before that was called Steampunk Pele. So we had like this big Pele thing, and her hair was just all over the place, like in ropes, and like red, orange. And she was like holding this little fish. She was like this. And what's crazy is when we covered up Steampunk Pele was the minute that literally that night, Fisher 8 opened up. And that's when like the whole neighborhood, Leilani, got taken out and stuff. That was when that whole started. I was like, oh crap, we covered up Pele with some other stuff, so yeah, she was not happy with that, it seems. And so what it was after a jazz jam Tuesday, I covered all the floors, masked up all the windows, and we have theater seats up here that were from the Crest Theater. So we have like 25 theater seats in upstairs, and a whole like bench and a swing. Anyway, and so I covered everything up, and my buddy and I came in, set up a scaffold and just painted the whole thing over the whole last mural black, and left this little, like, I don't know if you see the little kind of purplish right here. It's kind of an angle like that. And then we put this kind of purpley thing that kind of came down like this. It's like this pyramid, this big triangle. and I kind of had an idea of that we wanted this like spaceship deal up here, and it goes so good with the chandelier that's up there. And this mural is called Mothership. And anyway, so we did that on a Tuesday. Wednesday, early afternoon, the crew, my buddy Dan Madsen from Oasis Skate Shop, he's a master spray paint artist and all around awesome guy. Him and like four other people, showed up, and we just kind of took sections and shared ideas. And I took the initiative and threw a projector upstairs and picked out a flying saucer to use as a template. And so they traced it out and stuff, and everybody kind of added their own thing. This guy named Calm, he did that little pyramid guy. That's his like signature dude,
And then you got that seahorse. That seahorse is spectacular.
Isn't that cool? Yeah. My friend Maya did that. And I mean,
with those lips, that seahorse could play the trumpet, I suspect.
I know. It's like we had enough teeth. We needed some more lips in here. And how
do you get the lights to come out of the spaceship? Are those real lights?
No, that's the chandelier. That's just those are real lights. They're not in the spaceship. They're just in front of it, so it looks like they're part of it, right?
It looks exactly like it's. And then how about the lights coming out of the two side spaceships? Are those?
Oh, that's just paint. It's just like that. That's just paint.
Okay.
To look like light, And so, I kind of like help out with ideas, but mostly my job is, after all that, is like just to keep everybody fed and keep the refrigerator stocked with beer. And then those Friday we were about to have our 11th, or was it 10th? Yeah, we were about to have our 10th anniversary party here. And it was on the Saturday, and it was Friday, and it wasn't quite done. I was like, oh crap. And then this buddy of mine, I'm minorly acquainted at the time, but now he's a dear friend named Thomas, came in and did all the like cloud stuff. I don't know if you see the cloudy bits and stuff. And he just did the whole room, like the upper bits, and it just tied it all together. And it was super beautiful. And because by Friday, after 2 days of pretty much nonstop, painting, everybody was pretty pal. But so this guy came in fresh, got him some paint, and he did all this stuff and just kind of tied it all together. And it's just came out beautifully. And these guys are amazing.
And pow in Hawaiian means done.
Oh, yeah.
Like, sorry. I'm amazed about this in that you actually painted over the other stuff, because this is such a piece of art right here. Like, this should be captured forever. I mean, that's a time capsule right there. That's a time machine. So is there plans at some point in 5 years you're going to do all this again?
Oh, probably in less than a year from now.
So every year you update the art?
Every couple, yeah. The last one we kept up for a long time because not very many people got to appreciate it, because COVID started like, the month before.
And that's your name for COVID, COVIDia.
Yeah, because there's a pill for it. Anyway, that's another story. So that stayed up for like 4 years, and 5 years maybe, I don't know. And then so what's cool is that this back wall here is super textured. So it's like So if you count all the texture and you flatten it all out, it's like 10 times the size, right? And so the more paint we put on it, the less we have to paint. That's the goal.
And is
Anyway.
that a spam? I mean, from Hawaii, is that a spam being taken off to space?
Yeah, it's a musubi. You know, they make a brick of rice, and then that fits perfectly with a spam, and then they wrap it with seaweed, and you can find it at every gas station and 7-Eleven. Nice hot musubi wrapped up in some cellophane and
It's so
ready
tasty.
to rock.
It's so tasty the aliens want it.
Yeah, right. Exactly. You never know when you need a snack in space.
You know what? You said a phrase earlier that I think is spectacular. And I want to ask you what the legacy of Bub Pratt is. What do you want it to be? When I hear that question in my mind, I think of this phrase you just said, just make art. Is that what you're trying to get people to do? Is that your mission? Is that you yourself as an artist don't want to be the only one? You want to inspire others. So talk about your legacy.
Well, as a teacher too, I've always been teaching, you know, for as long as I could remember. Anything I kind of know, you know, I taught probably 1,000 kids how to swim, you know, that kind of thing. Even, and I like to teach by doing, you know, not just teach by saying. And so, inspiring people to just keep making art, because that's one of the most human things we can do, right? And AI will never be able to really touch the a human's capacity to, you know, make art. So that's, you know, especially, gosh, have you heard? I mean, I haven't heard one thing written by AI that was like worth actually reading. It's just so bad. That writing, AI writing, or like the art is just obviously, I mean, yeah, it's probably going to get a lot better, but it still doesn't touch what the human mind can conjure. I don't think so.
I think that could be the title of your next book. And maybe you should get that .com. Just keep making art.com.
Yeah.
I think that's absolutely brilliant philosophy, phrase, and to teach. So, what is next for Bub Pratt? What do you have on your horizon in the years to come?
Well, all of August, I'm gonna do my book tour.
Yeah.
20 cities in 30 days. And my plan is to land like in San Diego and have an engagement there, take the train up to LA, do a thing or two there, San Francisco, Portland, spend a few days in Seattle, and then head east, you know, maybe Spokane, Bozeman,
Missoula. You can't forget Missoula. There's a lot of art there in Missoula, Montana.
maybe, I don't know. See, I can't want to spend too much time in Montana. I gotta get across. But you know, yeah, Minneapolis, Chicago, New York, and then head south, and then turn the corner, come, you know, maybe go as far south as like Orlando, and then head back west and see how I can see if I can fit all that in. But yeah, but via train from city to city, and you know, mostly sleep in the train, and that's, it's going to be a kind of a push. And I know it's sounds probably a little bit more optimistic than most people are willing to say to my face, but they'll
Let us know how we
should be
can
fun.
let us know how we can support you with that, promote that. We've got the author publisher page with 3,500 members. I would post anything and everything you can. And you're gonna have your guitar on your shoulder and a box of books in your arms. Is that the kind of the plan?
Yeah, a guitar, books, a backpack, and a skateboard.
You still skateboard?
Yeah, that's I'm a board sportsman, man. I do I've I can't say I've mastered all of them, but I do pretty much all the board sports well.
When you said that you're a board sportsman, I was thinking checkers and chess and Monopoly and the game of Sorry and the game of Life. What other board games are there?
I don't know. Well, I love playing chess, but
Yeah, I'm a
yeah,
big chess
no.
fan myself.
Oh, cool. We should play sometime. But
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I gotta tell you, I just scored off Facebook Marketplace this Onyx, chess board from like the 1940s, and it must weigh about 30 pounds. Um, I scored it for $100 off Facebook Marketplace in Honolulu, and I took it to a stone and tile place because there's a little chip on the corner. And they said that would cost more than $2,000 to replicate today, based
Oh
on,
wow.
and it's like 40 pounds. The thing is huge. I can barely lift it,
Yeah.
and it's
So
like this
yeah.
big.
Oh
And
wow.
so then I went to order some granite chess pieces for it. So now I gotta find someone to play chess with.
All
Um,
right.
Anything that we missed? Anything else that you want to talk about? Whether it's the book, whether it's your singing. Do you have upcoming concerts? Is your studio open to the public? People come and listen and tell us about, how often you have events there, concerts, all the good stuff.
Well, every Monday we have a jazz jam. Every single Monday, even on Christmas, is what we say. And then
And,
second,
6 to 9 p.m. kind of thing.
all of our events are from 6 to 9. So when people know, that's what they just know to expect that. And then we have a second Sunday blues jam. Then yeah, we rent the studio out for private parties or public parties. How to book here? We rent the studio to a group or some artists or production company, and they just keep 100% of the door, and we have a modest rental fee, and they get to use all this backline and the drums, and we live stream it. You can check out our YouTube channel. We've got almost 800 videos on our YouTube channel.
Which is
And
what is the name of that channel?
youtube.com/Kukuau Studio. And that's, you can catch a lot of you can catch some of my older public service announcements. I'll ride my board through.
Not public, but bublic. I caught that.
Yeah. And so and what I do is I do that like once a month. I was going to do it today, but it looks like it's raining now. And what I do is I roll through town, do a different route, most times, and just flying through town, like between traffic, and with my phone, like, yeah, talking like it's nothing, telling everybody about the events
on your skateboard.
on my skateboard. Yeah. And I tell everybody about the events, about things that are happening and stuff, or I'll talk about the book or something. But yeah, I also have this I still got this spot fund campaign. I'm about what is it? Like at 10% of the goal for that. If anybody wants
How can people support you and donate money? Is it a GoFundMe? How and where can people support that?
yeah, spotfund.com/Kukuau. No, /Spoken Jazz and the Ting Machine.
Okay, one more time from the
Or
start to finish.
spotfund.com, and you can try putting in Bub Pratt or Spoken Jazz and the Ting Machine.
After
And
the slap. Okay.
yeah, and you can see that. Also check out the Facebook page. I got one for myself, one for the studio, and one for the book and the whole project. And you can see all the art and stuff we did. We did a bunch of AI marketing stuff. It's funny. I had this buddy of mine likes playing with the AI stuff, so I let him I unleashed him on the whole thing.
Was this AI? Because this is spectacular. This piece you sent me, this is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, and then I had another artist friend add the QR code and add all the text.
And
so
stunning. Absolutely stunning. Like that should be framed. That should be put in a frame. blow up.
Yeah. I got some bigger ones. Yeah, right. Thanks. Yeah. It's so funny because and actually those people, those women in there actually look like characters in the story, which is really I found to be rather interesting. But so to do and so this audio part of the episodic audio musical is gonna be 7 hours worth of content and over 20 songs and all this stuff. So it's just for me to do it here and have my own studio and have it be able to do it here and on the cheapest, most possible, the lowest possible budget. And this would be with a ton of my own money. I mean, I did the math and crunched it down. I'll be able to pull it off if I can raise $20,000.
When you can, not if, but when.
Yeah, when I can raise at least that much. And so to be able to, I got to be able to give, half a dozen actors a couple of grand just to commit to the recording schedule, and then all the editing and all the engineer. I might need one more microphone, but and we'll do it all here, and we'll video some of them and stuff, and we'll try to the goal is with that is to do at least 3 episodes per day. So we do them, and we'll just do them one day a week, and get that bugger done. That's what I do, bro. I get on the projects and I hit it like a bulldog, bro. And I just don't give up. I just keep on moving. And that's just something that's always in the back of my head, from, growing up on the job site, because construction was the family business. So I'd always be, summers working on the job site, swinging a hammer, pushing a broom, and my digging holes, and my dad was always he'd catch me leaning on a shovel, and he'd be like, "Bub, I don't care how fast you go, just keep moving." And I got that in the back of my brain. Just keep moving, Bub. Just keep moving.
No
Bub.
leaning
just
on shovels.
No shoveling, and just keep moving. I don't care. Just don't stop. You can go slow as you want, but just don't stop. So
okay, so kind of as we finish up, you grew up in Bremerton until mid-20s, moved to Big Island. Can you tell us the difference between the Pacific Northwest and the island of Big Island of Hawaii? What are some of the things that benefits of both?
Well, growing up in Kitsap is basically an island, right? I mean, there's this much land that makes it a peninsula instead of an island. And then also, I lived on Bainbridge Island, so I'm an island boy, and so moving to this island was not that big of a deal, change up from that. But it's very, very similar here to there. I mean, it's it's practically the same. We get a ton of rain on this side of the island. On the Hilo side is it's the windward side. So we get the trade winds coming off the ocean and a ton of rain. So it's kind of like Kitsap, but with palm trees and not as many, way more sketchy bad drivers. But I think no one can parallel park here, really. And people that over here, the left lane is the cruising lane and the right lane is the passing lane. And you got to get used to stuff like that. And if you're standing in line at the grocery store and you look like you're in a hurry, the lady in the the checker starts going slower, actually, on purpose. My parents, I know, right? My parents have a fun little trick where they counter that by they're so funny. They start pretending to have a fight in the grocery line, and my mom's like, "I'm gonna poison you in your sleep." It's lady, when we get to the car, I'm gonna and she's like, and the checkers go, oh, get these people out of here. It works really good. And they're just laughing all the way to the car.
I notice this in Hawaii all the time. They scan the item, they pick it up, and they spin it around and look at it, and then they ask you, "Is this really good? Does this taste good?" I haven't had this yet.
Yeah.
What
do you think of it?
Yeah. They scan the next item, and they're like, "Well, yeah. How about this? Does this taste good too?"
Yeah. I see so many people getting this now, but I never try them.
Oh no, I love the slower lifestyle here. Wow. What else do you want to talk about as we close up? Anything else?
Oh man, just gosh, thank you, Patrick. Thank you for your friendship and your love and your support, and Mary and everybody. You guys, I really appreciate you. Really appreciate your advice. That was I always preface your name as a friend and mentor, and so I really appreciate you, bruh.
But I always preface your name as a world-class, rock star musician, brother, friend, and I look up to you as a musician because I'm a hack on a ukulele. I think I can play 4 songs, but
and thanks for the blurb on the back too. I put one. If you guys look at the book, you got Patrick Snow's blurb on the back there.
Yeah, when I grow up, I want to be a famous musician like Bub Pratt, bringing joy to the world through music and art. Patrick Snow. So, yeah. So here's another one. At the nucleus is a hyper creative who is equal parts hooligan and visionary, as he rallies a scattered group of gifted young artists and sparks an unlikely cultural movement as bright and fleeting as the finale of a fireworks display. Love that. That's from a Bremerton taxi driver.
Yeah.
The third one, open this masterpiece at random, and you'll find yourself rooted to your spot in awe, unaware that 20 minutes just flew by, 30, 40, 50, when it hits you like an overhand right to the temple. These roaring 20s have found their Bulkowski. So I love it. Okay, lastly, best place for people to get a copy of this book.
Amazon, Barnes and Noble. It's going to be on all the digital platforms any day now. And when that happens, you'll be able to get the audiobook. The audiobook is going to be a nice little flavor of what the episodic audio musical is going to sound like and kind of feel like. Man, I had so much fun with that. There's a section in the book where like I go and find this little spot there's this big raging party, and I find a quiet spot to write. Happens to be in this bathtub in the bathroom of this party, and I have the curtain closed and people are coming in using the bathroom. And so like in the recording, like I took this 5-gallon bucket and put a bunch of water in it and then filled up a water bottle and I'm pouring it underneath the microphone. So it sounds like somebody using the bathroom. Anyway, there's funny stuff. Like I think it's funny, but, one more thing. I wanted to let you know the tagline for the episodic audio musical Spoken Jazz and the TINGG Machine is like this. 2 budding jazz musicians share a house not far from the college they attend on scholarship in a drab Navy town outside of Seattle. A creative community is unwittingly ignited, adding color to the landscape and a renaissance despite their blue-collar world. So that's the story on that. That's how that part goes.
So every Monday night, Kukuau Studio, 6 to 9 p.m., live jazz, 3 hours. Of that 3 hours, how much is Bub Jazz performing in that 3-hour slot?
Most of the time, it's all 3.
All 3 hours, all you.
Well, yeah, me, and I'm like conducting whoever happens to show up, so we all can like play together and sound together and start at the same time and make sure everybody's reading the same music and in the same key, and make sure the vocalist and knows when to come in. And I'm playing guitar, but I'm also conducting.
And is there a cover charge to get in?
No, it's free for all ages. Everything's by donation here at Kukuau Studio. The only thing we charge, the only thing we really sell is space and time, which you can't really tax. So
You know what? On
that's
my bucket list, I'm going to add that to my bucket list of things that I want to do in my lifetime is get to Hilo on a Monday and sit down from 6 to 9 p.m. and be entertained. But you got to promise me you're going to play me the butterfly song.
we can do that. We
There
can
we
do
go.
that. Just for you, Patrick. Just
Special
for you.
encore. All right, you guys, go out and pick up a copy of the book, Spoken Jazz and the Ting Machine, Bub Pratt, poems from the Episodic Audio Musical. This is a time capsule. I love this image of you there. How can people get a hold of you if they want to schedule private lessons, if they want to hire you to write a song for them, if they want to book you as a speaker, book you as a musician? Is there a phone number you want to give out, an email? What's the best way to get a hold of you?
I'm not afraid. I'll give my phone number out at 808-464-3388 or Bub Pratt or Kukuau Studio at gmail.com. Those are the two best ways. Or you can find me on Facebook or Instagram, Kukuau Studio on any of that stuff. So
And you're available for hire for weddings, for celebrations, anniversaries, for birthday parties, all the above. Text Bub Pratt 808-464-3388 or send him an email, Kukuau, that's Kukuau, studio at gmail.com. Any last bits of advice? Any last words of wisdom?
I love you all.
Let's give Bob a big hand. This has been spectacular. Okay, we're going to do a quick Q&A. Do you want to keep the recording on for the Q&A or you want to turn it off? We can do either or.
Are you asking me?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can
yeah. Keep it on. Yeah.
keep it on. Okay, let's go to Galen, who also lives on the Big Island. She's over in the Kona side. Any comments, questions, thoughts you have for Bob?
Actually up Hamakua side by YPO now. I'm
Ooh,
retired. Yeah.
lucky. Look at that beautiful background. Oh my goodness.
This is the playroom at the Kona house. Yeah. That's the
Oh,
airport
yeah.
right down there. Anyway,
Oh, okay.
um, I don't have any questions. It's been very entertaining. I'm looking forward to getting out to listen to your jazz on a Monday night.
Thank you. Yeah, you're about 45 minutes away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a beautiful drive both ways. Yeah.
I know, right? One of the
I
most
know.
beautiful roads on the planet.
Yeah, it's going to be
Yeah.
tough to come. I mean, yeah, I like coming to Hilo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I look forward to seeing you
Likewise, my dear. Thank you.
How often do you get into Costco and Kona? Is that like a once a week trip or you never go?
once a month.
Nah, no, yeah, Costco. Yeah, so
Hilo is its own universe. You don't need to go to the other side at all.
I only go to the other side really for gigs or surfing or camping or
By the way, I meant to
fun.
ask you a question. Do you wear a helmet when you skateboard?
I did when I was in Seattle and stuff because there's some actual hills there. Here it's pretty flat, so I'm not really that worried about it. No, I'm wearing slippers and shorts and a t-shirt and that's it.
You
Just
got you're on your skateboard with your flip-flops on or slippers as they call them in Hawaii, and you're just skateboarding, not worrying about stubbing your toe, not worrying about getting bit by a centipede, none of that. You just go and free flow on your skateboard. Yeah.
Yeah. I call it my magic carpet.
You're living the dream. You're living the dream.
If you had a magic carpet, wouldn't you want to ride it all the time?
Okay, Valerie. Valerie's from Hawaii. She spent a lot of time in her youth there. So, Valerie, go ahead with your comments, questions, thoughts.
Yeah, I haven't been back in a long time. We'll be back there in 2028, but I'll be on the island of Molokai. So
Oh, that's
uh
I haven't been to yet.
just because it's quiet. We're trying to avoid the city, but I love your personality. I don't have any questions or anything, but I love your personality. You're so fun and bubbly, and you're pretty good with the trumpet sound with your mouth. I would have thought that you actually played the trumpet. you're actually really, really good at that. You don't need a trumpet, I guess. You're your own band.
It's fun at the jam. Sometimes there'll be a trumpet player and we'll go back and forth.
Oh
He'll play a
wow.
lick and then I'll play a lick and then he'll play a lick and like dueling trumpets. But
That's really cool. Yeah, me and Mary both. We all live in Kitsap County. I love the island here,
yeah,
or kind of sort of island here in
yeah.
Kitsap County. So, but I like both. I like Hawaii too. It's expensive though. I can never move back unless I was a multimillionaire. But even then, I love PNW. But it was great to hear your stories. Your poetry was actually really cool. It was funny, but it was so cool. Just different. I'm thinking, I don't know what kind of poetry I was thinking of, but I was like, when you busted out with the poop in the pool, and I'm like, okay, this is gonna be different.
It's that sense of humor.
Yeah, yeah, but I love it. So thank you. It was nice to hear you again, and yeah, you should come back every year on the Patrick and Mary. Every year you got to come back and do
By
one.
the way, on your tour, you got to go west from Seattle and do a pit stop in Kitsap
Yeah,
County to do a
yeah,
book launch there, because I know a couple really amazing entrepreneurs by the name of Mary West, Valerie Harris. They might be able to fill up a room to do a little book signing and hear some music. So yeah, so that should be
yeah,
added
for
to your
sure.
August tour.
Yeah, that's definitely on the plan. Definitely going to spend some time in Bremerton. And yeah, that's definitely
Awesome.
on the plan.
By the way, what other instruments do you play, or do you only play the guitar?
Well, I play the ukulele pretty well, and I play the bass okay, and I play all the fretted instruments except for banjo. I don't play the banjo. I won't play the banjo. I refuse to play banjo. No, but yeah, pretty much. And I know how the piano works and stuff, but you know, you got to practice that stuff and get the muscles in your arms and wrists and stuff. And so I teach, but I teach improvisation and songwriting and just music theory. So I can teach that with any instrument if when they bring any instrument. But yeah, my main instrument is like guitar and then I picked up the ukulele when I came here because I started working at this music store and they're like, Bub, you got to learn how to play ukulele because everybody wants to take ukulele lessons and you got to be one. And, I'm like, okay. So I, picked that up and wound up ukulele is like my favorite hiking companion. I just like walking around with it and, jamming on the ukulele, hiking around and it's super fun.
And as a four-string instrument, is it way easier than the six-string guitar?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I always recommend for kids to learn ukulele first and they get the idea of it down. And a lot of the shapes on the ukulele are the same as on the guitar. So super
Yeah, and the
easy.
guitar that you have, how long have you been in a relationship with that guitar?
Are you talking about the one that I was playing on the ferry boat with?
Yeah, do you still have that one?
Oh yeah.
How
Yeah.
many years? So how old is that?
I bought that brand new in 96. So yeah,
So 30 years old.
that's 30 years old. Yeah.
So is your guitar and your instrument, is it like a best friend? It's like
Oh man. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
it sleeps in the bed next to you. I mean, you just protect that thing like nothing else.
Yeah, yeah. We've been through a lot, that guitar and me. And
That would be a good name of a song, by the way. We've been
we've been
through a lot, that guitar and me.
yeah,
I
there
should
we go.
write that song. That would be a
All
great
right,
song.
right. Writing it down, writing it
Yeah, write
down.
that down. We've been through a lot, that guitar and me. Like a
Yeah.
Johnny Cash song.
Mhm, mhm.
So you also have newer guitars as well?
Yeah, there's a tool for every job, right?
Yeah. How many different ones do you have?
Like 12.
Oh my gosh. Wow. And each have their own purpose.
Oh yeah, there's no duplicates.
So the guitar that I met was as your best friend, that's your butterfly guitar, but you don't play jazz on that guitar.
No, no, I play jazz on this one. This is a custom made. It's called the Nautilus. It's a friend of mine made this. It's just got one little pickup and little volume knob, little tone knob, and yeah, I'm loving on this thing.
What is that made out of? The base, is that like a plastic? It's a wood backing, but what's the front color? The front.
This is a maple.
Oh,
maple top.
Both are woods. Yeah.
It's carved. Yeah, so that's how it gets that round look. And yeah, I love this thing.
The back is a walnut cherry or something?
Yeah, this is a mahogany.
Mahogany
stained kind of red.
So if there's a tidal wave coming and you got to save one guitar, which one you taking? That one or the butterfly guitar from 30 years ago? Both?
It's like which child will you save?
You got one in each hand. You're taking
I got
both.
2 arms, man. I can at least grab 4.
Yeah. I love it. Okay, Mary West, comments, thoughts, questions that you have.
Yeah, you are so fun, Bub. I am so glad that Patrick met you on the ferry that day. And I thought of you the other day. There was a guy playing a guitar and singing in the park here in Paulsville, and I thought of you. And every time I hear somebody on the ferry, I think of you. But yeah, this and your studio is just totally amazing. Now, so is that located right in Hilo?
Yeah, right downtown Hilo, like. Yeah, I mean, I can smell the Panda Express next door every day.
Yeah, well, I loved hearing some of your poems, and especially the one crazy stuff people say. I think that's a cool way of doing some poems. And so anyway, thank you so much for being on here today. It was great seeing you again.
Thank you.
By the way, how long is your commute? You had to get up really early today from your jungle house to the studio.
My commute is about 25 minutes if there's no traffic, but in the early morning hours on a weekday, it'd be around 45 to 50 minutes. So and then plus I worked at the studio doing a recording session till about midnight. So I just crashed on the couch here and woke up at like 6 and walked next door to Starbucks and got myself together. Time to be here. Yeah.
So you literally live in the jungle. So what's that like? You have tree houses and all kinds of stuff?
Yeah, it feels like that. Well, construction was the family business. So we were able to build our own, structures and it's all off grid. There's no wires or pipes or cables, anything going in or out. And yeah, and I have to walk around. It's little they call them spaghetti lots. So it's like, the lot is only like 150, 180 feet wide and it's, 1,200 feet long or something like that. And we've never even seen the back property line. This is just jungle, and I have to walk around with a gun on my hip because I'll never know when I come around the corner and there'll be a big old pig right there and stuff like that. So
you seriously have a gun with you because a boar could come after you, a wild boar?
Well, yeah, basically. That's one of the reasons.
Wow.
And they literally attack people?
No, they don't attack people, but if you shoot them regularly, they're less likely to come back. They kind of remember.
You don't shoot them, you shoot at them to scare them away.
No, I shoot them to... Yeah, make it
because
so they can't.
Boars and humans can't coexist together?
Not in the wild.
Because they'll eat all your food, they'll destroy your place?
Everything. Yeah, they're so bad. And they create holes that create puddles that breed mosquitoes and they're full of like they're infested with all kinds of nasty stuff, and
yeah. And
they'll, like, if let's say you had a bunch of baby chickens, they'll eat your baby chickens, man. They eat, yeah, they just eat everything. And
do you have chickens on your property?
Yeah, we have some chickens. They're mostly wild and if we want eggs, it's like this big Easter egg hunt every time. But I usually get my eggs from my neighbor who has chickens. They're pretty well corralled. But yeah, I have a freezer full of meat from a cow that lived like 10 miles away. The person I bought it from knew the name of the cow, that kind of stuff. And there's so much food. There's so much food here. And you got to be able to like fend for yourself around here a little bit, and be able to have your own food sources, because you really never know when the ships will just stop coming. Something horrific could happen in a global economic blah blah blah, and then there's only and then in 2 days every grocery store is completely empty if something like that happens. So you have to be
when the end of the world happens everywhere else in the world, the big event, you guys in off grid in the jungle of Hilo will just be fine. You won't even know.
No, I'll know, because I probably won't be doing this studio stuff.
Do you have TV? Do you have internet? Do you have any of that on your property? Do you have cell phone?
Yeah, cell phone, small kinds of cell phone service. My parents have a satellite dish for cable.
Yeah.
And really they only use it to watch Andy Griffith. It's really weird. But yeah, so we that's what we do. So yeah, I'm kind of taking care of my folks too. They're kind of getting on, and I don't know if you heard, like my brother died about 1.5 years ago, and so we were always planning on a tag team in that, and so, but now we're now it's kind of all up to me kind of thing. But my nieces and nephew kind of help out and stuff a little bit. And
I'm so sorry to hear about your brother. I did not know that.
Yeah. So that's what we're doing.
How many people live on property now then?
It's just my folks. They live in one house and I live in the other house. And the house I'm living in now used to have like 11 people living in it, so it's a lot of house just for me, but it's fun and beautiful. Gosh. And it's just gorgeous, especially, gosh, like in a big full moon night, everything is glowing and glistening, and it's just epic. There's jungle all around. And when we first got the property, we visited it a couple times and like camped out. And I'm like, dude, I had my longboard. I'm going to skate down to the ocean. And so took me about I don't know, half an hour, but I was able to skate all the way down on roads, all the way down to the ocean. And then my folks picked me up and we went to breakfast and stuff like that. But it's pretty beautiful. It's that district's called Puna, and it's kind of a notorious district. It's pretty rough. I don't know if you heard, there was a murderer person on the loose over the last week. Yeah. Did you hear about that? Yeah.
I didn't.
And anyway, yeah, they got that guy and stuff, but it's notorious for being
on social media. I saw the arrest.
Yeah. It's notorious for being, kind of Wild West, but that's it. It's pretty beautiful.
Yeah. Well, Bub, this has been awesome. I can't wait to have you on again. We love you. We support you. We believe in you. You're one of my favorite people in the world. And I got to get my bucket list achieved and get over there to Hilo and watch a Monday night jam session. And by the way, that Panda Express, I love that teriyaki chicken with the fried rice. So I'll be, happy as can be. I'll get a big old dinner, sneak it into your studio, get past the security guards, and I'll be eating my teriyaki chicken and watching you play on the guitar the whole night.
Radical. What were you going to say, Mary?
I was going to say, let's have Valerie take a photo before we leave.
Oh, yeah.
And hold up your book if you can. Yeah.
All right.
I'll make it look like it.
We'll count to 3.
Wait. Let me.
3.
Fingers
Smile.
right. Wait. There we go.
Got it? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Got it.
All right. And then I'll send the recording later today or tomorrow morning, and then Valerie will get it on the author publishers page.
Beautiful.
Very good.
then you can-
Valerie,
you
if
can-
you can stick around for a few minutes, I'd love to chat with you just for 2 minutes.
Yeah, you're fine.
And
Is that
Mary,
okay,
you're
Mary?
welcome. Mary, you're welcome to stay on too if you want.
I'm anxious to hear your idea.
Okay, Bob, we love you, buddy. God bless.
Blessings, aloha from Hilo, the belly button of the world.